I'm Bob Rondo. Welcome to the Downtown Dawgs with Jimmy Rodgers.
So, Joe, we all knew for some reason, I don't know if it was just your attitude or your demeanor, all your teammates knew that you were bound for greatness. And this is before, you know, as a freshman. Mm-hmm. I remember just sitting hanging out with you up by the Red Square.
Red Square, yeah.
And just, you know, wasn't even football related, but you had something going on. I don't know if you had a fire that was burning, or I don't know if did you have a father that played?
Yeah, my dad. Ball? Yeah, my dad played. He went to New Mexico State. It was New Mexico A&M back then, but he was one of the first players in college, Division I. You know, African American, just a player. Period. He played all four sports. He started on the basketball team 4 years. He started on the baseball team 4 years. He started on the football team 4 years at 4 different positions, and he ran track. You know, and got drafted. He actually got drafted in basketball his junior year by the Boston Celtics. His senior year, he got drafted in basketball by the Lakers and the Rams, and he chose football because the Rams had chosen in the 11th round. You know, in basketball, he got chosen, I don't know, 30th round or something like that. So, you know, he was there a year, then he wound up going to Canada. You know, and I had another uncle who was my dad's younger brother. He wound up playing 11 years as well. He played a couple years in the World Football League and then the rest in the NFL. So it was, but I don't think that was the driving factor. You know, honestly, it was me coming from South Central Los Angeles. You know, I was a good student in high school. But then, you know, just had the naysayers, you know, you're a good student because you went to school in inner city, South Central LA, and, you know, academics are different in college and up there. And, you know, I was like, well, hell, algebra is algebra, ain't it? You know, geometry is geometry. It's the same, yeah. You know, but it was, I wasn't going to come up here. First of all, it wasn't about going to the NFL. You know, it was about, you know, I was going to come to, you know, college and graduate, get my degree, and I was on a mission to prove that I can at least play with these guys. And my dream was just playing on Saturday. You know, as a kid, my cousin Andre could tell you here, just watching football all day, every day. You know, and it was USC, UCLA, Michigan, Ohio State. Just wanting to play on Saturday. I never even thought about the NFL. It was just, you know, being able to, you know, be on ABC, you know, playing college football on a Saturday. So it was just the will, man, be able to not just get here, compete, but play.
So did you start your sophomore year a few games? Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah. I started.
Because your junior year, wouldn't you say that's when you really?
Oh yeah, that was so. Yeah, in my opinion, you know, people's discretionary, you know, coming in and playing with Timmy Amber, Joe Kurkowski, and myself, and knowing that, you know, Tim Amber was up here. He was on another level above me and Joe Kurkowski. Mm-hmm. So now that, you know, Joe and I were
not
similar.
Physically, though. Not
physically, you know, but it was Tim was a monster. You know, so we wanted to be like Tim, but we were competing, but it was only 2 starting inside linebackers. So here, you know, coming in and me starting, and then Joe come back, he's healthy, so he's starting, you know, and Joe Kurkowski is a tackling machine, you know, so I'm competing with him, then I'm competing with you know, this intense dude, and just my getting the experience as a sophomore and then going into spring ball of my junior year, I wasn't there to share time. I was there to start every game. I was there to be one of the guys, you know, one of the contributors, you know, and that spring definitely had, I think that was kind of put me over the hump, you know, and Lambeau, even though I think I had a great spring, that's when Lambeau started creating defenses to have us 3 play at one time. You know, remember sometimes we would have 2 linemen and bring 5 linebackers.
We should have had all 5 on the field.
Yeah,
in my opinion, which we were doing for Oklahoma.
Yeah, because you know, I mean, it was that was the best of our defense. You know, with us 3 linebackers in there, and he made and he devised schemes to get us in there at the same time. And
so going into your sophomore year, you started 5 games, but you didn't get any preseason accolades.
No.
Nobody really knew. You weren't on the map.
No.
And your junior year, I don't think you were necessarily on the map, but you exploded.
Yeah.
So would you say it was the Stanford pick 6, or was it before that? Because when you tackle guys, I don't know if you were giving them the business, or but there was always something extra.
Yeah. It's just that.
Is it legal? That extra stuff?
Well, no, it definitely wouldn't be legal now. It definitely wouldn't be legal now. But it was, I was looking at you. I was looking at you, Jimmy. I was looking at you. And you still remember that Cal game. Oh man.
I think I've got that queued up actually. So, what he's referring to is me being a 5th year. Let me see if I have this here.
Yeah.
I might take me a second here. But anyhow, me being a 5th year senior and knowing that Cal was always just a bunch of punks.
Yeah.
And you never lose to Cal. So the fact that we've lost to them recently, just, I can't sleep at night.
Oh, man, yeah.
But I knew they didn't really care about the game, the output, the outcome of the game. They cared about the fight and the talking. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
And so we were number 1 in the country. And it was our last home season game, excuse me. And my responsibility when a receiver came out to block was to get rid of him.
Yes.
As fast as possible.
It
didn't matter if you go through him, go around him, ragdoll him, whatever. Yeah. And I got by the guy, and then behind me, right behind my knees. Yeah. And I turned around, and I was just, that's a career ending. And I saw the flag, and I said, okay, well, at least they called it. Yeah. They didn't call it on him. They called it on the Huskies for having 12 guys on the field. And some switch went off in my head. I don't know. It was an out of body experience, and I called the code red.
Yeah.
And and I said, fellas, just in the huddle, said, forget about the whistle.
Yeah. And
I had no idea what I started.
Yeah.
It was like you started a brawl, and then afterwards you're seeing people get killed, and you're like, what did I do? And I
the
said,
longest yard.
I said, don't forget about the whistle. And I looked up, and I see, Joe Kelly's throwing combinations up under the chin. This is after the whistle.
Yeah.
Memo's kicking a guy in the ribs. It's down. Reggie's taking a guy by his face mask and planting him. And Freddie Small could, he could throw.
Yeah, he could throw. Yeah.
15 yards.
Yeah.
And still, the switch was still on.
Yeah.
We got in the huddle, and I said,
Again.
And we went at it again, and another 15 yards. And Coach James, this is when they just changed the NCAA rule where the whole defense could go to the sideline.
Yeah.
Used to just be the captain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Coach James is screaming, get over here. And we're in the huddle, and I'm thinking, one more time, let's finish this thing right now. And Reggie looked up at Coach James, I said, Reggie, and he snapped his head back. We did it again, 45 yards. 3 consecutive 15-yard penalties. Game was over. Yeah. They got a field goal.
Yeah.
That was their best drive of the game.
Yeah. It was just the guys, man. I wouldn't trade that for the world, man. The guys we had on that defense, just a bunch of guys was gonna get after it. Every play, and everybody had your back.
That's right.
So
that's right.
That was my junior year. That was, it's hard to compare that even to the NFL. I think, what we had, the bond we had, and then, culminating and, beating Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl, that was, up there with the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, Super Bowl, we didn't win it, but, it's hard to compare really anything in life to, that, camaraderie we had and, just the connection we had, but just, being able to go out there, man, every Saturday, and have fun, fly around, hit people.
You can't repeat it.
Can't repeat it.
Yeah.
It's hard still chasing that.
You can't chase it.
You
can't drink it.
Yeah, you can't drink it.
You can't get there.
No,
you can't get there. Yeah.
Oh man, awesome. It was awesome.
It's a surreal experience.
Yeah.